Did you know that trimming your hair in synchronicity with the moon's lunar cycles can help you stick to and reach your hair care goals even faster? Whether you want thicker hair, faster hair growth, or just a regular proper maintenance routine, or maybe just a total refresh and restart. In this video, I have the ultimate 2025 lunar trimming schedule for you, but first, let me break it down. Why would you trim your hair with the cycles of the moon? It may freak a lot of people out, but if this is not a video for you, girl, then it's just not one. But as you can see here on the screen, a couple of our people wanted to see, so I am in love with ancient Kemet, and we'll talk about that on my spiritual channel on another day. There are so many different cultures and ethnic backgrounds that trim their hair based on the moon's lunar cycles, but the method that I learned from comes from ancient Kemet, so that's the one that we're gonna go with today. The moon controls the tides of the earth, and our bodies are made of over 60% water. Many believe that the moon's energy also affects your body's natural hair growth cycles. What are the different meanings of the different phases of the moon dependent on what you actually want out of trimming your hair? Number one is going to be the full moon. Trimming your hair during the full moon is what you do if you're going after like strength and thickness, right? You want stronger and thicker and healthier hair, right? The strength and the volume. You would get your trims during the full moons, right? If the intention is to maximize the thickness and the strength of your individual hair strands. Next up is the waxing moon, which is from the new to the full moon. You trim during this phase of the hair growth cycle, setting the intention for faster hair growth. The intention is if you want your hair to grow faster, you're going to trim in between the new and the full moon when the energy is building. The waning moon, which is from the new to the full moon, right? This will be one moon phase that the majority of you most likely are not going to trim your hair during, because this is the phase of the moon cycle that you trim in. If you want the hair growth cycle, if you want your hair growth to slow down just a little bit so you can focus on the maintenance and things like that of your hair, like your hair growth is too out of hand and you already can't do nothing with it, like you just slowing it down so you can get the maintenance practices together. But who's really gonna do that? Really nobody, but I still have to tell you. So the waning moon, this is going to be for people who wear their hair in like short pixie cuts, like the way that I used to wear my hair. So like if your whole head look like this, if you wear your whole head in a short pixie cut, then you will be getting your hair cut during this moon phase, because when you have super short hair, it's freaking annoying the way that your hair grows out. It grows so damn fast, it don't make no sense. If you want your haircut to stay looking fresher longer, the intention is to slow it down for better maintenance, cutting your hair or getting a trim during the waning moon. Next up is my second favorite moon cycle. My first one is the full moon. My second favorite moon cycle is the new moon. The new moon is a time for renewal and detox. So if you are in that phase, maybe where you've left Team Natural and you're moving over to focus on the science of hair, your trimming sessions are going to be within correlation and alignment with the new moon cycle, which again is for renewal and detox. So if you're again looking for a hair transformation and a brand new fresh start, this is your trimming phase. The new moon is the perfect time to cut away damage, split ends, and all of the things that no longer serve you, girl. Especially that hair that you keep trying to hold on to. I'm gonna cut a little bit every time. No, girl. If you're one of those people, your trims need to be during the new moon, out with the old and in with the new. Now, if you head over to my blog, you can look on the screen right here and see that I have I have an exact trimming schedule for each and every lunar phase, right, that you decide to go on, the exact dates that you would trim. Remember, you're trimming every 8 to 10 weeks, and we're starting in April, right? So if you've already had your trim in April, this first phase, then you know, whatever, but we're starting in April. So again, make sure you head over to my blog so that way you can get your own, so that way you'll have a copy of the trimming schedule that you want based on the cycles of the moon. Oh my god, like, it makes me so excited. By following this moon cycle based trimming schedule, you're able to sync your body with the natural rhythm of the moon, of the environment. And the thing is this, the majority of women probably don't pay attention to it, but your cycle is already attached to the moon cycle. Like, I know when my cycle is late or on time, or when the cycles are, or when my cycle is changing based on the cycle of the moon. For the most part, I am a full moon bleeder, where the majority of the time where I am on my cycle, it is when it's a full moon outside. And my cycle most of the time is dependent on like my emotions, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through in life. My cycle could change up, but that's kind of like my mental alert for myself. Like, if my cycle comes before or after the full moon, I know that something in my life is off balance, and that's like when I really start to pay attention. And then whenever whatever that thing was that was like off or out of balance, whenever it's leveled again, my cycle sets itself back to the full moon. So I really hope that makes sense. I know this is a little far out from the content that I normally make on my channel, but this is what we get into. Because to be honest with you, that's what I do now. I'm not just like 100% into like hair from that level from what most people are used to. When I say I'm a herbalist and a holistic practitioner as it pertains to research science, I've explained all of that in the video linked in the description box below. If you want to learn a little bit more about what I do, I broke it down in that video. But holistically, the word holistic means a bunch of pieces of a whole, and this is another piece, right? The way that you first met me with cosmetology, going to cosmetology was the very first piece of my holistic practice, and then I just keep going right around the wheel. So this is one of the things that are included into my entire holistic practice. So by sticking to the cycles of the moon like the rest of the earth does, right, it helps you to keep a healthy pattern and routine. So I really hope that this helps and that it made sense for you. First thing, pair all of your trims, and if you went over to my blog, you have the exact date that you should be trimming your hair based on the lunar phase that you decide on, right? But you need to be comparing your trims with deep conditioning treatments. That is the day that you do your deep conditioning treatments. And to me, having a schedule based on the lunar cycles makes your entire hair growth regimen so much easier, because you're not just randomly grabbing products and putting them in your hair all the time. You know, okay, this is time for, let's say you decide that you're trimming with the full moon. That's when I do it. But let's say you're on the full moon cycle, then you know that on a certain day of the month you trim your hair and do your deep conditioner treatment on that day. And it's not a bunch of confusion on if whether or not you should be doing deep conditioning and conditioner and this and that and this and this and that on each day. Like, it's not that complicated. So by having a set trimming cycle set to the lunar cycle, it makes things a lot easier. Now, you don't have to do this. Of course, you can do whatever you want to do. You have whatever schedule you want to have. If you don't like the moon, even though you see it every day, then that's fine. But it's a really easy cycle. And so many times we we talk about our ancestors and what our ancestors used to do, but our ancestors didn't have calendars and things like that. They didn't have alarm clocks. Their alarm clock and their calendar and their schedules that they set were all based on the moon cycle, the sun, when the sun went up, the moon, where it is in the sky, and all of those things. So if we're really going to talk about cultural practices, if we're really going to talk about our ancestors and all of those things, then you have to get in touch and linked to and in alignment with your center. And where was your center? And that is why I love getting in sync with the moon phase and having your trimming cycles and your whole hair growth regimen aligned with the moon phase that you choose based on what your intentions are, right? So I really hope that makes sense, and I really hope that it was easy for you to combine that together. Next up, second is for you to set realistic goals and intentions, because most of the time when you trim your hair, your energy is like, oh my god, I gotta get a trim. She better not cut that much of my hair. I really don't want to cut that much of my hair. And whatever energy you let out is coming back to you 7 times 7 times 7. So what do you want back? If your intention is for your hair to grow, if your intention is for your hair to thicken up, then that needs to be the energy surrounding you as you're doing it. You can't be like, I gotta trim my hair. You gotta be like, it's trim day. And that's why I think it's so great to do it according to the lunar phases, because then it becomes like a whole regimen, like a whole ritual that you can get behind that makes you feel really good, right? So that whether you are cutting off old energy or just doing a little trim, that way that you're able to maintain the newness that you have coming forth, then you need to set that intention, right? Set that intention. What does setting that intention mean? Setting that intention means that instead of you like, I don't feel like doing my hair, I hate doing my hair, I just hate it, you're setting an intention. Whether you believe it or not, you're setting a negative intention, and that's why you keep getting the same negative result. But what if your intention was like, today I'm doing maintenance, today I'm doing some well-deserved and some real needed care, self-care to myself, and make a whole self-love ritual out of it. A lot of people have a problem with the word ritual, but the word, everybody does rituals. You getting up in the morning and taking a shower, brushing your teeth every day is a ritual. If you go to church and you take communion, that is a ritual. It's actually a death ritual where you drink blood and eat of a body. There are so many different rituals that are a part of your everyday life. What I'm saying is for you to get a steady and proper routine that gives you a good result, you have to set intentions with this new ritual. Make yourself your priority. Number 3, lastly, be consistent. Trimming during your selected moon phase every 8 to 10 weeks is pivotal for maintenance and length retention. If you are getting proper trims on a regular basis, you actually never need to cut that much hair. This is someone from the 7-day challenge who kept up with her trims, and because she keeps up with her trims, when she goes back to see her cosmetologist, she's like, girl, you don't even need a trim. What are we doing? You don't even need a trim. And there will be a point where during the lunar phases, you may not need the trim during the trim day of your next lunar phase. But remember, I told you, also use the lunar phases to do your deep conditioning treatments. So if you get to an 8 to 10 week mark where you don't need a trim, that's just when you do some intense deep conditioning. That's when you use something like Olaplex 0 and 3. You're doing deep conditioning treatment with your favorite expensive whatever deep conditioning treatment, right? I really hope that makes sense. And that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think about trimming on the lunar phase. Again, don't forget to head over to my website to check it out. And that's it. That's all. I love you guys, and let me know what you think about this conversation, because if I could have it my way, We won't talk about nothing but moon phases and spiritual stuff. Like, that would be the only thing we talked about, but I know everybody's not there. So let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about this video, and do me a favor in the comments below. Let me know which moon phase you are going to be trimming your hair on. All right, again, you know, mine is on the full moon phase, but you let me know when you're trimming your hair and what your favorite moon cycle is based on the intentions that you're setting. I love you guys so much, and until our next video,